Hello. Today I'm going to give you a little tip or a little hack on how to reduce your stress and anxiety. Let's face it, we live in a stressful world, but stress is a part of life, right? Stress can actually help us and it can actually save us as it did when we were running away from the saber-toothed tiger. But in the world we live in today, stress is 24/7 and we have trouble shutting it off. So we need to learn how to shut it off. And if we don't, stress can turn into an anxiety. And sometimes anxiety is aggravated by stress. So the two of them kind of go hand in hand. Stress can be completely something on its own. You can be really stressed out about something at work or your family or just life or even social media. Isn't that stressful enough? Or you can be dealing with anxiety. And we usually say in the spiritual realm that anxiety is when we're really in that downward spiral about worrying about the future, things that we can't even control and things that haven't happened yet. So stress and anxiety can be two separate things, or they can also work together to aggravate each other. So I'm going to show you a little tip to help you reduce that when you feel that stress coming on, or the stressful event has passed but you're still feeling that adrenaline rush or the cortisol rush, or you're just anxious about something, a job interview or anything. So this is called the Ohm Tuner, and it is set to the frequency of 136, the Ohm, right? So I have other videos out there about that. I do suggest you search them to learn more about it. We're going to try to keep this short and sweet and show you the hack. So I keep one of these everywhere in my house. I have one in my purse. I have one at my desk. They're great to use before bedtime. They're really, really helpful for helping you ground and de-stress. So when something stressful comes up, or you're dealing with anxiety, sometimes with anxiety, our mind and body are separate. We want to bring them all back together. And with stress, we just want to bring us back to that parasympathetic response, the rest and digest, right? Because when we're in stress, we're in that sympathetic response, the fight or flight. So very simply, we're going to sound the tuning fork. For me, as a sound therapist, I use these in my therapy all the time. I'm very good at just kind of tapping. I've got a nice little meaty part of my hand, and I get the tuning fork sounding. So basically what happens is when you hit the weight, it sends a vibration down the tines and down into the stem. Now, my forks have a crystal at the end, so it really focuses that energy, which is important when we use them on the body. So if you're dealing with stress or anxiety, pull this out. Start simply by sounding it. Taking in a nice deep breath, crossing over the top of the head. On the exhale, breathing out. So I have a little video out there about being your own guru, and I talk about how to use this for meditation. It's the same process. By bringing this up over the head, we're hoping that the vibration is going to help make some connections between the left and right hemisphere of the brain, so they start communicating together better. Also, it's breath work. So you're going to breathe, say maybe the count of 4. Take that nice diaphragmatic breath in and exhale the count of 4. Now, I do have a free breathwork meditation series. There'll be a link below. It's 4 weeks long. You can also check out some of my Being Your Own Guru videos. We talk more about that. What I want to go into now is the other ways to use the Ohm fork to reduce the stress and anxiety. So besides the sound at the ear or crossing over the head, there's 3 parts of our body we want to bring together. I call them 3 brains or the 3 minds. So if you're someone who's into nutrition and you deal with the microbes and all of our gut problems, you're probably used to hearing about the gut being our second brain. If you're someone like myself who's a heart math practitioner, we always talk about the heart as the second brain. And I don't like those two to oppose each other. So when I teach my students in my therapy, I teach people how to be sound therapists. And in my curriculum, I teach them that there are 3 brains. So I don't want to battle the nutritional people who talk about the gut's the second brain, or the heart math, of which I'm a member of, that the heart's the second brain. I think we have 3 brains. And if you understand anything about this universe and Tesla, you'll understand why 3 is so important. And in the modality I teach, everything's based in 3, 6, and 9. So I think there are 3 brains. So we have all these microbes in our gut, and they do communicate. They have their own genome. They think. You feel that gut instinct, right? That's all those microbes in their thinking. And they send signals to the brain. And of course, our heart, we know there's more ganglia in our heart sending signals to our brain than our brain to our heart. So that's also a mind. And then, of course, there's the mind, and there's all the neuroscience that our brain, our mind, it thinks. So we have three brains. We want to bring them in sync with each other. When we do that, we can start to reduce the stress and anxiety. So my hack for that is the Ohm Tuner, because it's such a beautiful primordial sound, that Ohm, right? So besides listening to it, which you always start at your ears, bringing the sound first, right? Bring that sound into you. We want to now use the stem and bring it into these three brains, getting them in sync. So we start with the first one, right? So you might think of it as your third eye, right? Yeah, and we are bringing that vibration into the third eye, but really what we're trying to do is bring that direct vibration into the prefrontal cortex. That's our thinking brain, right? That's where that monkey mind's going on. So we want to kind of get it there first. Then we're going to come down to the heart. Now, really, our heart's on our left, right? You know, in our anatomy. And, you know, some people would come down here on the heart, right in the sternum, which you can do. I like to split the difference between the physical part of the heart and what we know spiritually as our high heart, which is where our thymus is. So I kind of come right about here. And that vibration will then go down a little further as well as go up and out. So it'll bring in that heart center, the heart chakra. So my second point would be right here. And whenever you bring vibration directly into your body, breathe it in. Feel that vibration being drawn into the chakra and spreading out, right? So when you do it up here, you're going to feel that coming in, spreading out across the prefrontal cortex, bringing it down to the heart chakra, feeling it spreading out here. Now let's go down to that third brain. We're going to go down to the gut. Now, bringing that in here, we're bringing that vibration into that flora and fauna, that microbe right into our gut. And they're just loving that vibration. It's such a beautiful vibration. So we use these three centers to bring them all together, to calm down the nervousness, calm down the butterflies in the gut, bring us into a heart-centered space, and get our mind on board with all of these. And it doesn't matter if you start here, here, or here, but hit all three of those. The other thing you might want to do is, you have the occipital lobes back here. If you're ever in the back of your head, you'll feel these kind of like two round spots on each side in the back of your skull where your neck meets your skull. So you can take this and directly go right back into each one of those, or right into the center. These are also acupressure points. And this will help bring some relaxation into the back and into your neck and relax that. And if you have any physical stress going on in your body, you've been at the desk all day, you're kind of hunched over like this, you're feeling it in here, again, tap it, press down right into that muscle or into the meridian point. We have a course that actually teaches you where the meridian points are and where to use these. You can find that on my website, but just very simply, go where the pain is and bring it there. Just be careful not to overstimulate it. You don't want to do it too many times in the same point, because researchers have found if you do that, you can overstimulate nitric oxide, and we don't want to do that. So this is the Ohm Tuner, and this is my Ohm Tuner from lisaalexander.com. It comes with a crystal on the end. That helps focus the energy, especially when you're pointing right onto your body, your third eye, your heart, etc. And they are medical grade, made in the U.S., top quality forks. So I'm not saying you have to buy my forks, but just be careful what you buy. Cheap isn't always better. You get what you pay for. I have another video that actually shows you side by side the difference between a good tuning fork and a bad tuning fork. Be careful of those made in other countries. So I hope all that information helped you in meditating, help you reduce stress, reduce anxiety. And so please like and subscribe, and I'll continue to give you more tips to help you in your daily life. Namaste. So if you like the information that I've shared with you in this video, please, please, please like, subscribe, and share. Let me know in the comments section. And please remember what your mother may have told you, at least what my mother did. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Because we know whenever you throw out negativity to someone else, it'll just come right back to you tenfold. So don't do that to yourself or me. So please like, please subscribe, please follow so you can get more tips and tricks on becoming your own guru.